Hey everybody, welcome to HIT.OR.DIE podcast. Here with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Rofford. Welcome back to the number one podcast in the world named HIT.OR.DIE. Today is Thursday, July 1st, 2021, and the best part about today is it is Bobby Bonilla Day, where he pretty much owns Major League Baseball for...
I thought you were going to say we'll get into the NCAA rule change, but
yeah,
that is taking effect to today as well.
Oh yeah, cool. Good for you guys. It wasn't there when I was there, so
we'll get into that.
We'll get into it.
It's also the YouTube challenge is still going.
Still going strong. I think we're up about 10 subs right now.
We're pushing 300, buddy.
We're pushing 300. So we're almost to 1 million. So let's go. Let's
we're closer to 1 million. Thousands was the goal, right? The first goal. So
was it 1,000? Yeah, 1,000 subs. Let's go. Let's get it going.
So if you're listening
or watching,
and
if you're listening, go watch
and sub. And you don't have to watch, right? That's your selling point.
Go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, go back to listening.
That's your selling point, right?
Yeah, you don't even need to watch it. Just hit a button. I mean, you guys hit buttons all the time on your other social media accounts.
Exactly. Right? Just go hit the subscribe button on YouTube.
That's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Subscribe. Yeah. 115, episode 115. I got a lot of feedback, Chad.
Yeah, I did. It was really good. It was a lot of fun.
You let it loose, though. And I was unexpected. I had no idea going into it.
I had no idea
that you were going to let the cannons loose. You said a lot of, and this is what I heard. Okay, I got a lot of feedback.
Mm-hmm.
You said a lot of things that basically other people have wanted to say that just they're not in a position to do so. So
everybody can say whatever they want to say, whether you're in the position or not.
Yes and no.
It's about just saying it.
I mean, I guess. You said it, buddy.
I said it.
You said it.
I don't regret it.
No, you shouldn't. There's nothing to regret. I think you're spot on. I think, again, a lot of people want to say it that just don't say it.
And I know it's spot on just from the people that told us.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, there was a lot of good feedback, a lot of coaches, that seemed to agree with the points. Mm-hmm. So anyways, 115. If you haven't listened to 115, you can't handle the truth.
You can't.
Go check it out. And again, there's still the home run derbies up on YouTube.
I still go watch it. I'm probably like a lot of those views that still go watch it. It was such a good event and it was fun, and I can't wait to do the next one. Yeah,
Trinity Bat, again, thank you to them. They're doing a bat giveaway. Go to their Twitter account. Are they doing it on Instagram too?
Yeah.
TrinityBatCo.com, but they're giving away a bat 4th of July weekend. So this episode will be out Friday, the 2nd, July 2nd. I think the giveaway ends the 2nd, right? You got to be registered or do all the rules. You got to either today or tomorrow, Thursday or Friday the 2nd. But either way, go to TrinityBatCompany.com or TrinityBatCo.com, and awesome stuff.
Hey, the best quality bat for the best price. I actually did. I'll post it on our social media account, but I actually took every bat company that's the top bat brands in Major League Baseball, and I went and did the prices. And Trinity Bat has the lowest price for the best quality wood that you can buy. I think a lot of people are set up on, they want Marucci or Chandler and blah, blah, blah. And, you're getting the same wood from a company that's family owned that does it seriously in almost like a 3,000 square foot building. It was amazing when we went to see it. And the owner actually is the one, he's busting those bats
he's
out.
Making the bat.
He's in there working. It's not just some machine that's putting the bats in and going. So you're getting a handcrafted, when they say blood, sweat, and tears are going into each bat, blood, sweat, and tears are going into each bat. And the wood is amazing. I've swung it. I love it. You can't beat the price. That's just a fact because we throw facts out there anyways, but you can't beat the price, and the quality is amazing. So head over and get your bats for the summer. And
they have a number of big leaguers that use their wood.
They do.
If you watch enough games, you'll notice you might be surprised at some of the guys that swing Trinity bats.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when we did meet with them down there, they had Trout swinging it, remember? And he was a fan, but had already worked his deal with Hickory.
He had Old Hickory, but he... Yeah, because the Angels, they're right down there, in Southern California, and You know, they could even make, if you like trout, they can make any model you want in Trinity. They can customize any model you want, as well as the models they have. Corey Seager, Howie Kendrick was there. They had Adrian Gonzalez was there. Gavin
too,
Lux.
right? Yeah.
So Dede Gordon, I think, was swinging at a time. So,
and if you, like you said, in the last time we said that, our last episode, if you're ever in the area, pop in.
Yeah, pop in. Tell them we sent you. They'll give you a tour. You'll fall in love.
Super good people, man.
Yeah, great people. Jeremy and his father are amazing and do a great job. So we love supporting them, and they support us. So
it's been a week since we've posted or done a podcast. Last Friday, we were on the Zone show on ESPN with Garza, which was fun. We appreciate him having us on. Got to chat a little bit about Valley baseball. And then in the span of a week, it's like the sports world's gone crazy.
Crazy.
It's off the rails. Starting with the College World Series. First, congrats to Mississippi State.
Hail State.
Yeah, their first national championship. Was it in any sport?
Might have been.
I think so. But they kind of dominated Vandy, especially the last two games. I think, just Vandy didn't play well.
No. And I was talking to somebody, and it's like, Vandy, they throw hard, they have a hard slider, but they couldn't locate. And Rockers had a great career there, but he just looked different.
Yeah, and
he was just trying to overpower guys rather than, locate. Jack Leiter's proved to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, he was pitching, he was locating, he was doing that. And nothing against Vandy. I mean, they're a tremendous ball club. But I think with what happened to NC State, I think a lot of people were pulling for Mississippi State in this situation.
Which I understand why people would think that, I guess, but it's not like Vandy didn't do anything.
No, they didn't do anything
to warrant some of the hate or some of the people saying they didn't belong. I mean, they were one of the best teams in the country all year, with one of the best 1-2 guys in the country all year.
Yep.
But going into that final 3-game series, I broke down just game one. Vandy had scored 8 runs on 5 hits, no errors. I think Leiter, and I forget who the other pitcher was, between two guys, combined for 3 walks and 1 hit by pitch. Not bad, right? And 5 hits, whatever. I don't think Mississippi State pitched all that well. But game 2, Vandy scored 2 runs on 4 hits. The defense made 3 errors. They walked 10 and hit 2. That's 12 free bases.
Mm-hmm.
And when a team like Mississippi State, who rakes, by the way, you're going to get beat up. And they did. I think it was 13-2 final there. Game 3, Vandy scored no runs on 1 hit. Again, defense made 3 errors. Pitchers walked 5, and nobody hit. Mississippi State had game 1 had 5 hits, game 2 14 hits, game 3 12 hits. So Vandy made 6 errors. They walked 18 guys and hit 3 in 3 games.
Yeah.
So, that's tough to win any series, let alone the College World Series.
Pitching and defense will definitely lose you ball games.
And I think I saw Mississippi State didn't make an error through the World Series.
That's crazy.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, they can hit. They were a lot of fun to watch, and good for them.
So Saturday, before the final, Vanderbilt was supposed to take on North Carolina State in basically a play-in game, winner take all to the final 3-game series. And Saturday morning, I believe it was around 2 a.m., the NCAA dropped a tweet saying that the game Saturday between North Carolina State and Vandy was going to be a no contest, and that Vandy would take the spot in the final series due to COVID protocols regarding NC State. So we haven't had a chance to talk about this.
So why'd they play game 2 then?
On Friday?
Yeah.
With 13 players?
Yeah, so the guys tested positive on Friday.
Before that, earlier in the week.
Yeah.
By the way, if you go to D1baseball.com, Kendall Rogers did a complete breakdown of timeline on this. It's really good. I would go check that out for the full scoop. But yeah, they were tested earlier in the week. Come back, they had basically Friday, that first game against Vandy, they were limited to 13 players. 4 starters were not in the lineup. and they tested again Friday night. So that's a great question. Is why a day before
Were they allowed to play?
with less players available? Were they allowed to play? Because why is the safety?
What's the
and
COVID
health-
protocol in that instance? Is
I'm
the
not
protocol different for one game rather than the other? It doesn't make sense because all those players and coaches were around all the other players that tested positive. So if you're going to say it's that, the grouping where you're next to somebody or, they sit out because you're next to somebody. Well, they were next to their whole, their whole team was Friday should have been out then too. So it doesn't make sense. So why don't you just let them play Saturday?
I guess they call it an outbreak with 4 or more players.
Well, they had 4 more players Friday. That's where they're eating them. They're eating it a little bit because they let them play Friday. Why not Saturday? When you don't have anybody in the stadium masked or mandated to show vaccinations or whatever, and you have 20,000 fans that you don't know people might be COVID positive.
Well, on the one you have the guy drinking the beer out of the shoe, and it's like, well, this is a party.
Yeah, and it should have been a party.
Sure.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere.
It's like, don't take this away from a team when you're allowing people in the game that you don't know are positive or negative COVID. And 4 of them were vaccinated. 4 players were vaccinated.
So Friday, NC State, this is, again, per D1Baseball.com, Kendall Rogers. NC State sources estimate that full team testing occurred around 7:30 p.m. Friday night. And that by 11 p.m. that evening, they still hadn't gotten word on the test results. There was a lot of frustration from NC State's side of things with a lack of communication during that time frame. Shortly after that point, results began to trickle in for each player. 4 players, all vaccinated, had tested positive for COVID-19, with all other players testing negative. So Friday, at that 7:30 p.m., there was a total of 8 players tested positive of the traveling party for NC State, 4 having been vaccinated. And at 2 a.m. Saturday, I think at 1, they had informed NC State that the game would be a no contest and their season was over. And then they put out a tweet, a statement at 2 a.m., dropping a tweet saying that there was going to be Mississippi State or the winner of the Mississippi State was a Texas game taking on Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Had it been a college football semifinal, would it have gone down the same way?
I don't think so, because there's more money to make.
So why not just postpone the game a day?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Or again, why just 8 guys can't play?
8 guys can't play.
You had 13 Friday play, being around that whole team
off of a 26-man roster.
27.
Okay.
Now you have 8 guys that test positive within the same day you played with 13. Your results come back Friday night with only 8. So now you have guys that supposedly were offered contact tracing, not playing, available to play. You have more players basically to play than you did Friday afternoon.
Which makes no sense either in COVID protocol.
They also set an attendance record for this College World Series. 360,000+.
Yeah, everybody wanted to get out, man.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
And I encourage everybody to go.
360,000 is 360,000, you said?
For the whole entire
For the
series,
whole entire thing, you don't know if anybody of them was positive or negative. 360,000 people walked in that stadium not knowing if they had COVID-19 or not. But then you're going to penalize a team, the College World Series, a chance at an opportunity to play in the College World Series final because 8 guys tested positive, which the night before more guys tested positive, and you let them play. That makes no sense whatsoever.
So their 2 a.m. drop on Twitter said, with 8 positive tests and impending contact tracing, the NCAA's point of view was that it would be impossible for NC State to finish the tournament while also caring about the health and safety of participants. At 1 a.m., NC State was notified that Saturday's game would be a no contest. Impossible.
It's not impossible. Sorry. How would it be impossible for them to finish the tournament?
Do you think more will come from this? Because it seems to be that, like, it's already kind of been, I know we're a week late, but it's already been kind of forgotten because we have a champion.
Yeah.
I think people are satisfied that it was Mississippi State and not Vanderbilt for whatever reason.
I think if it was Vanderbilt, there'd be more going on.
Do you put an asterisk by that, right?
Yeah.
Do you do it anyways?
No.
I don't think Vanderbilt deserves that. I think that's kind of ridiculous.
They don't.
They're a good ball club. Always what?
But guess what? Jack Leiter would have pitched that game against NC State.
Yes. So he's not available probably
game one.
Game one.
Yeah, I mean, there's just the NC2A just messed up on this one. They honestly messed up.
And then you hear a lot of pushback on NC State head coach's comments on, his job is to teach baseball, not indoctrinate his kids with his philosophy on politics or getting vaccinated or not. Because it could have been easily fixed if they just vaccinated. The required nobody is required to get vaccinated. There is no mandate out there that says everybody has to get vaccinated. So that's just kind of dumb to say.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody has to do it.
No.
So why would the schools and these institutions require that? No.
No.
You nailed the NCAA just messed this one up.
They messed it up.
I don't want it to go unanswered.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be more answers as to why. I mean, why let them play Friday and not? Because nobody's heard. I still haven't heard anything.
That makes no sense.
I still haven't heard any legit reason that makes any. It's over. It's done. They went home. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody said, "Oh, the national champions, NC State."
It was their coach.
Yes. Hey, whatever. I don't blame them. You can't say they wouldn't have been. That's the thing.
They technically didn't lose 2 games.
No, they didn't. It's a good argument, man. It pissed me off, and
oh yeah,
I mean, my dad literally didn't watch the rest of it because he was so mad about it.
I only saw game 3, but there's a little bit at the end of it.
So I mean, again,
I was on vacation.
It probably would have been the pot much stirred if it was Vanderbilt had won.
Yes, agreed.
But again, congrats to Mississippi State. I mean, they played like a championship team, so there's nothing to take away from anybody. And again, Vandy doesn't deserve some of the hate they got. I saw that there was some reports of slurs going out towards their fans, which is just stuff's ridiculous, man.
They didn't make the decision.
No, they can control what you can control. That had nothing to do with them. But again, NC State was. I
think NC2A talked to Robert Manfred a little bit before they made that decision.
NC State was booted.
Or NC2A, sorry.
Yeah.
NC2A talked to Robert Manfred.
And we'll get to more NC2A here in a little bit. But again, congrats to Mississippi State. It's cool. It ended a little weird with a very close play. And I was going to ask you this. If you're Tim Corbin, do you have that looked at, or you just say it's 9-0, like there's 2 outs, let these guys have their moment? Because they all threw their gloves off and the confetti flew. He could have been a real, dick and said, "No, I want to review that call."
Well, I mean,
what would you have done?
If the first base coach gave me the nod or thought he was safe, I probably would have challenged it. You don't know what can happen in baseball. If their adrenaline's going that they won it all, and then now they have to come back down and get that adrenaline back down, that's hard to do. And then try to get the last out, or the pitcher's dogpiled underneath, and now he's got to get back on the mound. Calm himself down. Well, that happened
with the Buchanan pitcher. I forget his name. They celebrated and he jacked his leg up.
Connor Loprich.
Was it Loprich?
Yeah.
A couple of years back at Rawhide. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to go back out and win the challenge, and you got to go finish the pitch again. Yeah, I thought it was a real close play. They didn't really show. I didn't see a slow-mo replay.
They talked about it. The announcers did about the possible challenge, but nothing after that. I don't know. I don't even know if Corbin thought about it or. But or
just let them have their moment. It's kind of out of reach. Let's be real. I know anything can happen. I mean, they scored. We've seen it happen.
They scored 7 in 1 inning in game 1. So, or 8-1. You know what I mean? They scored. So, I mean, it can happen. You never know.
I guess you're right.
Baseball's baseball.
I guess you're right. But I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
Yeah.
In other news, local news, and I think everybody saw it. Pagmeter kind of retweeted it and just asked for people's thoughts. There was a tweet from a Fresno State softball player that detailed their side of a incident that happened with Coach Garza, which is why she had stepped away or took a leave of absence during the season, and ultimately a few weeks ago resigned her position as head coach. The gist of the story, the condensed version, and you can go out there on Twitter. It's out there to see. I think it's on Facebook as well. She stole a bag or attempted to steal a bag, was caught stealing, felt like she wasn't out. And in her story kind of says, she said something to the umpire referring to that you missed that one, Blue. And gets back to the dugout, and Coach Garza basically kind of just blows her up. I'm not sure if it was for what she said to the umpire. Did she miss a sign? Was it she pissed because she went? Not really sure because she says that in her statement that the umpire didn't hear what she said to the umpire didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So if the umpire didn't hear it as close proximity as you are on the field to an umpire, I don't know how the coach would have heard it unless Coach Garza saw her say something to the umpire.
Yeah.
So basically she starts getting addressed loudly by her coach. For what exact reason, I'd have to go back and read it. But
she said Garza grabbed her by the jersey and began yelling at her, saying something to the umpire for saying something to the umpire.
So then how the umpire didn't hear it, I don't know. And I guess why that's important, I don't understand. Like, she's justifying saying something to the umpire. The umpire didn't hear it, so it's okay that.
Well, and then she was holding me on the field at that point, but I managed to pull away and get into the dugout. So you're pulling away from your coach trying to talk to you.
Or yell at you. She says yelling.
Yeah, well, trying to yell at you. It doesn't matter what it is. Your coach is talking to you, whether it's yelling or what. You stop and listen. That's your coach. It's respect. And managed to pull away. Coach Garza then grabbed me again by the front of my jersey and shoved me into the dugout wall, holding me there while she continued to yell at me for saying something to the umpire. She only let go of me after I said, "You can't do this right now. There's people around." Now, I don't know how bad that is, or throwing her up against the wall, or, we agreed you shouldn't put your hands on a player.
No, it's not something.
But you also shouldn't pull away from your coach. I mean, grabbing the jersey is one thing. Shoving up against the wall. I would like to know how hard she shoved her up against the wall. Is she hurt from it? Did she,
well, it says she's been dealing with some anxiety and depression.
Is she bruised by it in the chest? Is she, how hard did she do it? And everybody's going to be like, well, she shouldn't have done it anyways. Then Augie Garrido never should have coached. Then, all these old school coaches never should have been coaches or got the best out of their coaches. Or if I would have told you what happened to me for a coach, saying things that I think they shouldn't have said, or, then every coach I've ever had probably should be fired. You know what I mean? It's like coaches aren't always going to say the right thing. They're going to say things that they shouldn't at times, but it's in the heat of the moment. It's people are right, people are wrong, but this is just another sign of softness.
Well, and so if you go on social media, it's pretty divided. I'm not going to say the amount of who's on her side or who's not. I don't think that matters. And again, this is her account of it, and I respect that account of it, and it's one side. I guarantee you that I highly doubt Coach Garza is going to respond or give her account. Which I understand completely, out of respect to Fresno State and the game, honestly.
I mean, but for the player to say that the coach wasn't held accountable is beyond me.
Or anybody. I mean,
Like, she had to step down from her job, and then she was made to resign. Let's get that straight. Garza did not just resign on her own. Let's be completely honest.
well,
with each other.
we're assuming that
We're assuming that this
old,
is facts because it's facts.
The old adage is that
No coach is just going to resign. That's their livelihood. They're not just going to resign without somebody making them resign in this situation. Because what she did at Fresno State in the year she was there was unbelievable. It was bringing her back.
She won.
Bringing them back to Margie Wright era.
She won.
They were winning. They were winning conference titles.
I saw another comment about how many people have left during her tenure. There's over 2,000 kids in the transfer portal for baseball right now, right?
Yes.
That doesn't mean shit.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
How many people left? Okay, are they not tough? Why'd they leave?
Why'd they leave?
Why'd they leave?
I just feel like having a tough coach that cares, that wants you to be disciplined and do things the right way can be taken out of context at times. I mean, to me, what Garza did, this is my opinion, I have no issue with it. But I don't know how hard she threw up against. That's what I want to know. I want to know the story. I want to know the full story. This is coming from the victim. You know, I could easily say, you know, I got hurt walking down the step, or, you know what I mean? It's just, things get out of context. I wish we could get another side or somebody come out and give their side of the story as well. Because we don't know the full story. We don't know how accurate this is because nobody else has commented on from the team or anybody. So I think it's soft. You can't take constructive criticism.
Well, you shouldn't be yelling at the umpire.
No, you shouldn't say something to the umpire.
Like, her job is building a culture, right, and a program, right? And she's had success. They've won, right? They've done well.
Yeah.
To me, it just sounds like they didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get yelled at. I will say, though, as an employer, like, if I put my hands on an employee, I'm going to pay the price for that. Right? So as a coach, you can't do that. Right? And for her to have to take a leave, I get that. For her to lose her job over it, I don't know. Again, we're missing some of the context or specific details of how was it a physical altercation? Like,
Yeah.
You know, because if you got shoved against a wall and got the air knocked out of you, and I'm just saying it got rough.
No, yeah, I know.
That's not okay. But go watch a football game.
Oh, go watch coaches grab face masks and hit in the chest. And is it, and that's where we talk about this too. Is it because it's a female?
Could be.
Or is it okay if it was a male? Is that okay? If it was a baseball player?
I mean, Bob Knight punched a player. I mean, he lost his job. But
He lost his job.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, is it okay, or is it a different situation because it's a female doing it? I mean, I guess it would be different if it was a male coach doing it to a female player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. But I just feel like to have anxiety and stuff over this, to, like, honestly, like, players are just soft. Just take it and fucking move on. Like, okay, I was wrong. I probably shouldn't have pulled from you if she didn't pull away from her in the first place.
Did she just taken the ass?
If she would have just taken the chewing in front of everybody, what are you, embarrassed? You embarrassed that you are taking a chewing on the field? Dude, I got motherfucked when I popped up in college. I'm not even gonna tell you what coach, but that coach, I didn't run it out because I just didn't, because I thought I was better and I shouldn't have run it out. And it dropped. Or no, it didn't drop, but the guy caught it. And before I got back to the third base dugout, the head coach met me at the third baseline and motherfucked me. Now, I stopped and took it, so he didn't have to grab my jersey because, but he did it in front of everybody, and it was an embarrassing moment. But guess what? I didn't not run a ball out ever again that I popped up. Because guess what? He was right.
There's a certain way we're going to approach the game. There's a certain way we're going to play. Okay? There's a kid on our team this year, and I've mentioned it to you this year. One of our players at the beginning of the year told me what he wants to do as far as baseball is concerned. This is where he would love to get to. He aspires for this, to play in this game. And I was hard on him this year, like hard. And I yelled at him. I never physically put my hands on him, but I was hard on him. I would yell at him. I would pull him in the dugout, and I would get on his butt a little bit. I would do it while he was on the field because he told me what he wanted, and what I was getting or what he was doing wasn't good enough to where he wants to get. And my job is to get him as close as I can to that. I'm just a stepping stone for that kid's future. So if you tell me where you want to be in 2 years, me just letting you do that is not going to get you there. And I'm not that kind of coach.
Yeah.
And I told him that. I'm not going to stop because you told me what you wanted. I'm also going to love on him too. And I did a lot.
Yeah.
And he's I love the kid. Absolutely love the kid. But just that approach is, listen, you want to play here, this is what they're going to look for. This is what they want. They don't want that.
Yeah.
You've got to elevate your game. And sometimes it takes getting your ass chewed. It takes getting blown. It takes some tough love to learn those lessons.
And that's the thing too, is like Coach Garza was holding her accountable for her actions. But she thinks that Coach Garza wasn't held accountable for her actions. So again, it's the woe is me. It's not that I'm not gonna accept what happened. I'm not wrong. No, you are wrong because you said something to an umpire, and per your team, it seems like that you don't do that. I mean, you shouldn't do that anyways, but some coaches don't. They let it go or whatever. But it seems like Garza has a strict policy on you don't say anything to an umpire, and even though the umpire might not have heard it, Garza heard it, and she didn't like what she heard.
Yeah, just because the umpire didn't hear doesn't justify doing it.
No.
And so she's like, if you stole a candy bar, just because the clerk didn't see you take it doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah. No, and that's where it's like she never once said in her statement that I was wrong. I shouldn't have said anything to the umpire. I shouldn't have pulled away from the coach the first time. Grabbing a jersey is no thing. If you're gonna be like she never should have grabbed her jersey, bullshit. She shouldn't have grabbed her jersey. Every coach at a point in time has grabbed a jersey.
Not every coach. I can't recall a time.
Yeah, you have 20 years. You have
maybe. I can't recall.
And I'm not talking about in a bad way or anything, but it's almost a way of like, hey, I'm talking to you. Because we've all had kids pull away or look away and not want to take the constructive criticism. They don't want to be coached at times.
Well, because I'm reading this and I'm envisioning.
Me too. I am too.
Grabbing and pulling you in and getting in your face. I'd probably, if I'm a parent in the stands, I'm like, hey, that's a little much.
Yeah.
Like, chill out.
Yeah.
Like, you can have that discussion in the dugout, not on the field. But if it's like, hey, come here.
But Garza was probably the third base coach. So she was coming off the field, grabbed her to talk to her because she wanted to talk to her, and she pulled away. So she went after her in the dugout and grabbed her again and threw her up against the wall,
Listen, I think both parties have some fault here. We don't have the story. We're probably not ever going to get the full story. And if Coach Garza wanted, our platform's open to both, be honest with you, or to anybody that wants to speak their mind on it. Again, I think both parties have some share and blame here. I think as a player, if you deserve the ass chewing, you just take it. You take it. You take it like a Division I player should. Learn a lesson, move on from it.
Yep.
Because your coach is going to love you. At some point, she's going to put her arm around you like, listen.
If she didn't care about you, she wouldn't have done.
Sure, she'd just let it slide.
You.
Yeah, let it slide.
She would have just been like, okay, I'm going to put somebody else in.
But she cares about the culture she's growing. She cares about the program she's in. She's building something.
I'm not justifying what Coach Garza did by any means. I'm just saying, as a player that played at a high level, that have had coaches get in your ass, grab you at times, break your shit while you're out playing defense, literally put you down in a locker room, I don't feel any sympathy at all towards her in this situation because it all could have been over with if you just took the initial ass chewing. But you disrespected your coach. You think it was disrespectful for her yelling at you in front of everybody. How disrespectful was you pulling away from your coach while she's talking to you in front of everybody? Now you have a head coach being disrespected on the field in front of everybody, and this is her program.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do. In the heat of the moment, who knows? I mean, obviously you put him on the bench. You don't play. I'm sorry. That's real easy. That's a quick sub for me. Next woman up. But I think both. I think you're right. I think both. And again, both share some blame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the initial response or reaction from the player could have been handled differently.
Yep.
But I also feel like, you know, the coach took it a step across that line, putting your hands on a player.
Yeah. The initial grab jersey, I don't have a problem with that.
Ultimately, is somebody's livelihood, somebody's job
got taken away because of it.
Again,
and then they're trying to say they weren't held accountable.
And if we're missing something, please let us know, because nothing jumped off the page. Like I was trying to envision the situation myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read it, I was like, I mean, yeah, the coach shouldn't have done that, but that's what she lost her job.
Yeah. That didn't even justify her stepping away.
Like I get the leave of absence thing. I guess.
See, I don't.
Let's look into what happened. Right. But then you also make a statement a month after she's resigned.
Which is fine. She probably didn't want to cause anything with the coaches.
Sure. Yeah, who knows?
She's probably thinking of what to say, or, you know, I mean, obviously she was playing too. So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of,
and most people,
it's kind of bush league to come out and do that after the resignation when you know Garza's probably not going to say anything back. She already lost her job. There's no need for her to even rebuttal the thing.
She's just going to compound the situation, make it worse.
Yeah, which that's what we're for. If people want to tell us their side of the story, we won't give names. We won't say where we got it. We will give a different side of the story. But I want to know, there's more story than this story. There's always, you know, 3 stories, right? There's their story, my story, and the truth. So
it's a hot topic right now. It's been out and people have made comments, and some probably don't agree with anything we just said.
Yeah, which is fine.
And some probably did, and that's cool. Both sides are welcomed.
And the ones that don't agree, guess what? You probably haven't been there.
Possibly.
You probably haven't played in a competitive atmosphere with a competitive coach that wants to win and culture, and so leave that shit behind. Don't even come at me if you're gonna, you know, you haven't been in that situation or played at a high level, and you know, you have no say. Again,
is there something to the female angle of that? Because I've seen football stuff way worse, even at the high school level.
Even basketball. Coach K from Duke, you don't think he grabs a jersey when they're walking? Come on, man. Take your freaking shit and just walk away. Don't disrespect your coach. That's when it gets out of hand. You talk to any coach.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think some people are either complete opposite with us or with us. It doesn't really matter. That's our opinion on it. Mm-hmm. I think, again, both share fault in it. But ultimately, I didn't see why somebody had to lose their job over it. And as much kids are in the transfer portal, just leave.
Just leave.
Transfer out.
Everybody else is, you can't hack it where you are, just leave.
I mean, that is what's happening.
I want to be committed. But guess what? I don't want to put the fucking work in to win a job.
They're running from it.
I don't want to win a job.
That's kind of what we talked about last week.
I don't want to win a job. I'm not going to play. I got to go somewhere I'm going to play. Dude, you're not going to make it.
At that level, they're everywhere. There's guys everywhere.
This is what I tell guys, even at junior college. The only difference between Fresno State and Vanderbilt, let's just say, is the pitching. The pitching. I'm sorry. Any one of the defensive players can play at Vanderbilt. You can switch the lineups 1 through 9 or 1 through 8, and then have Fresno State's defense play under Rocker and Leiter, and then have Vanderbilt's defense play under the Fresno State pitching staff. And guess what? The season wins and losses are probably going to be similar. Just saying. A Division I player, like position player, are pretty much all the same everywhere in all Division I baseball. 100%. The difference is pitching. A guy that throws 95 to 100 is probably not going to go to Fresno State. It's a mid-major, Even though you're going to get seen and it doesn't really matter where you go, that's just the way it is nowadays. It's not the SEC. It's not the Big 12. It's not the Power 5 that has all these guys throwing 90 plus or whatever. That's the difference, you know. And it sucks too, because being in California, you have all these schools. You have all these NAIs, all these D2s, all these. You have a lot more Division I schools in one state compared to Arkansas has Arkansas. They're going to get the best players in the state of Arkansas to go to the Arkansas. You know what I mean? Louisiana, they're going to get the best players in that state to go to LSU. When you're in California, the best players in California have what? How many schools to pick from?
Well, and then you've got Arizona State.
You have 2 schools to pick from.
Nevada, Oregon
State.
State.
And that's what I'm saying. That's my argument is in California, it is so much harder to compete. You know, Stanford has the school side, the academics that get the guys there. You know what I mean? Like even saw it in UCLA was down. USC's down. You go all the California schools. None of them are like really competitive in baseball like they used to be. Even Fullerton's down.
Or like the SEC.
Yeah. I'm just saying. And go look. It's facts, man. It's facts. There's too many schools for too many players in California to decide where to go. And then you have an SEC school come in. That's why you see Cali guys everywhere else. So now those guys are pulling in some of the best California guys. They're not even staying in their own state.
Truth, my friend.
Truth.
We'll have to see what comes out from this. There's got to be, hopefully there's more. I mean, I'd like to hear multiple sides, but again, I don't think Coach Garza is going to speak on it, which I don't blame her at all.
She almost doesn't have to justify it either. On my part, that's the way I think.
I'm with you. And again, today being July 1st, some huge news. Players can now compensate or be compensated or make money off their likeness, their name, their image, so on and so forth. And you saw people posting, you know, their brands are going to drop, looking for endorsement deals. Some people had signed deals today. Chad had his face in the mic. I know you hate this.
I hate it.
With the passion. We've talked about it. It's been a long time since we've talked about it because at that point, all it was conversation. Now it's reality. My stance on it before was that I felt like if you're a scholarship player, if you're, you know, the schools or the NCAA needs to you know, make it where if you're a 25% scholarship player, you're allotted this much, 50%, 75%, you know, and you can tier.
So only baseball.
Or any.
But everybody's on a full scholarship.
That's true. Football and basketball. Yeah. I guess just baseball that would be apply to.
And baseball is going to make the least amount of money on this.
And they have the zero. I mean, the scholarship thing is a joke.
It's a joke.
That's what my buddy. They can't even pay 3 coaches.
My buddy Daryl Madej, he went to Arkansas. He lives in Wisconsin. I played with him with the Giants organization. He said it perfectly. Look how competitive college baseball is now. Look how competitive it is. Imagine if you gave 20 scholarships, 20 full scholarships, how competitive the Division I college baseball would be. I mean, football, you get 75 full scholarships for a team that has 11 players playing on the field at one time. So if you have 11 defensive players and 11 offensive, that's 21. And then you have 11 special team guys, that's 32, right? 22 and then 34, 33. I'm fucking bad with math. What is it? 33?
I didn't even hear what you said.
I'm adding another 11 to 22.
Yeah.
33?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's give 75. Let's give 75 freaking full ride scholarships. Fresno State. Baseball gets 11.3. Basketball gets 13. They usually have 2 walk-ons.
It's not 11.7 for baseball. Yeah.
No, I think it's I don't know.
It's not enough.
Whatever. Yeah, it's not enough.
It's 11 something.
But then you have all these guys on full scholarships with all these other sports. Listen to this. If you're listening or watching, look at this. You get free clothes. So all the big schools, the Power 5 schools, you're sponsored by Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, whatever it is. You get free clothes, anything you want. I have a friend that their son just went to Oregon. And he was given like 20 shirts the first day, 20 pairs of shorts. I mean, it's unbelievable how much stuff you get. You don't need to even bring your clothes from home. You just wear your school clothes every dang day, especially being an athlete. And then you have your own cafeteria. They feed you. You have your own dorms or your own apartment area, wherever you are. And guess what? You're on a full scholarship. Besides getting your tuition and books paid for, hey, you know what? We're going to give you $2,000 a month. What's that $2,000 a month for? Oh, that's free money. That's for you to do whatever you want with it. So you're making $2,000 a month being a freaking Division I athlete. That's more than a lot of people. That's like a freaking part-time job. People are out there working, making less money than these Division I athletes, but now we want to pay them or let them get endorsed or do whatever they want. I mean, when is it going to stop? When's it going to be about me, 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 me? And I get it. The universities make a lot of money. They make a lot of money, but guess what? A lot of money goes into the facilities, goes into the nice things. There's a reason why you get so much stuff when you go to that program. There's a reason why you don't have to pay, for clothes or, protein drinks, or you have a free weight room that, you know what I mean? Everything's free. When you go to college on a full scholarship, everything's free. Not me. I had to pull out loans to pay for my college that I didn't even finish paying off till I was like 25 to 30 years old. I was still paying for my own college. When these football players, they want to get paid to be in a video game. I would have loved to have been in a video game. I wouldn't have said shit. We weren't even in the video game when it came out. We were the only conference. How about that?
I felt like if you're gonna put a kid on the cover of a video game, yeah, you should pay that kid. You're gonna use his image. Yeah, you should be able to profit on it.
I'm okay with that.
You're gonna sell this kid's jersey with his name on the back of it.
They don't do names on the back.
I'm just saying, if they did, you should pay him. You're using his name. You're making money off that kid. I get the scholarship stuff too. I'm with you, but I didn't even contemplate people starting up their own brands. And I worry that there's are they going to care now?
Less.
How much is going to go into
themselves,
their program and where they're working, and how much is going to go into building their brand? Because athletics ends for everybody at some point. Mm-hmm. Right? That's why you see these guys trying to make big deals and get paid, because at some point the game's going to end. And so now you have college kids thinking, well, I mean, right now I'm a decent player. I'm well enough and known where I can make some money at this and not make it in professional athletics.
Yeah, but when's it going to be like, I came to this school to win and win a championship, or get to a regional or super regional college World Series, or get to the national championship for football. And now it's like, you can go build your brand and make money. Okay, so how much time and effort? Because let me tell you, and I know this, I do know this, I'm not just speaking out my ass. Being a Division I scholar athlete, you don't have time for extra stuff. There is no time for extracurricular activity. There's weights, school, practice, study hall, weights, school, practice, study hall.
Some sleep
every now and then
play.
Because when you want to sleep, guess what? You go out and have fun, so you don't really sleep that day. So I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's no time for this extracurricular activity. So how much time are you going to put into this extra, brand that you want to make, that's going to take away from you getting better at the college you're at, and taking away from the program that gave you this free scholarship where you don't have to pay anything to try to come play your best and be the best athlete you can, and best player, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever you are, and win a championship? How much is that going to take away now? Because I see people like, oh, DM me if you want to,
It was everywhere.
DM me.
I saw
DM me if you want a part of this or whatever. If you have to go do that, then you're not worth the shit anyways. If people aren't coming to you and asking you, hey, will you be like the Kavinder twins, the basketball players at Fresno State? They made themselves by the TikTok or whatever, with millions and millions of fans. So Boost Mobile, and I think it was a protein, they came and signed them, right? They didn't go out and say, DM me if you want to sign me. They just did their thing, and they had a good following. But now you see all these athletes like, oh, I'm going to build my brand and just sell my brand and do this, or I'm going to, hey, DM me if you want me. I'm trying to be on TikTok now with a bunch of followers, or try to do this. Like, how much time are you taking away from your craft that you're supposed to be getting better at for college and then hopefully professional?
Well,
because I mean, these big leaguers, they're still freaking getting better. And
well, why did people buy Jordans?
Because he wore them and he played and he was legit.
He was the best player in the game.
Yes.
Right. So if you're not the best player in the game, or
if you're not the best player on your team,
nobody's gonna buy your shit.
Oh, your hometown might. Well, don't put me down for one. I'm not buying anybody's shit. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. It's happening. It's done.
It's happening.
So
I know that.
I hope that it doesn't, become an issue or become a problem. And maybe it won't. But I can see how it will. I can see how it's going to be an issue.
Well, the other issue is, you brought it up. What about Reggie Bush?
You give him his Heisman back?
They said that if he would have been now playing, he would have made $3 to $6 million a year at USC.
At that point, I don't need your scholarship.
And now
give it to somebody else.
And now he made $300,000 while he was at USC and got his Heisman taken away. So give him back his Heisman.
Yeah.
Give him back the accolades. What
didn't Michigan, the Fab Five, lose wins after Chris Webber? They had found that he'd taken money. Like, you didn't give Michigan back those wins. Are they going to put those banners back in the building? Among all the other schools that's happened, didn't Kentucky have some issues there? I think
now what's the worst thing is basketball now. Besides basketball being the worst anyways, and I don't watch it. How are these one and done guys going to be now?
I mean, it's going to benefit some of those guys.
Well, yeah, now they're going to market themselves even more for a one and done because they're already one and done, which is bullshit, by the way. NCAA, you need to freaking fix that too. They shouldn't be one and done. It shouldn't be different from one sport to the other.
I think you're right. Like, I can't think of many baseball players, especially even with what's just gone on with the College World Series. Like, Rocker's a name. Leiter's. How many actual guys could go out there and say? And
do you see Jack Leiter? Do you see Kumar Rocker? Do you see those guys trying to, hey, throw me DMs if you want a piece of me?
Well,
if you're doing that, then you're nobody. You need to just stop. Concentrate on getting better. Let them come to you. That's what's bullcrap is like, if you're not good enough, that your body of work and your abilities to do it for you.
It's that, how can you help a company? Okay, the Twins have a massive following, right? Fresno State basketball has done really well.
Yep.
Right? They're investing in those two because they can help sell their product.
Well,
they can help sell their brand.
One of them was Player of the Year. They're good.
What I'm saying is I'm not going to invest money into somebody that isn't going to help me grow. I'm not going to get in return on my investment.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're not a dude, I'm sorry. That's how the business world works. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
How can you make my money grow? I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. Not everybody's going to get a deal.
No.
Right? You're going to see a lot of football players probably do well off this.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to see basketball players.
And you might see some baseball players.
Possibly.
But it's going to be a handful. It's not going to be a lot of baseball players.
Like track athletes, you're going to see some people do well with this. I would be interested to see how they balance the two.
And I think we'll see that.
And I hope hopefully they do. Right? I'm not opposed to.
But like, what are they going to do now? Are they going to be wearing their brand on their helmet, their football helmet? Are they going to allow that? Like Bauer outage?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're making it legal.
I know. So if I'm the star quarterback and I have my logo, like right here, Luplo, shout out, got Luplo on here. Say Luplo was at Fresno State and he's getting endorsed.
They don't do it in the NFL, though.
Is he going to wear this on his helmet?
No, because the NFL can't. Like, Brady doesn't wear his
TB12.
No, yeah, these other guys don't. That won't happen.
I know. I'm just saying. How far is it going to go?
That's what I worry about.
Because now is a kid going to try to sue you?
Well, now
because the kid is so immature. How mature are these kids?
All these guys. That's even the high school kids now. It's like you started with I want to be committed so badly to wherever I could get committed to now these kids are going to not only want to be committed, they're going now I want to. How am I going to think about how can I make money?
Yeah.
After I get committed and go like, no, they're missing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was about baseball.
Yep.
Now it's not. Now baseball, you're not even talking about.
No.
It's
how can I make money? How can I make money? How can I? And then guess what? I'm going to go get in the transfer portal when I find out the guy that's not making any money is working harder than me, getting better than me. Because I already told you go to a Division I school, they're all good. They could all play.
And there's D2s aren't slouches.
No, I'm just saying.
D3,
you're going to a program.
you're talking
all
about
the way
as far
down.
as how this is going to work. Making money.
No, you're not going to see any D3 guys out there get endorsed or anything. I'm sorry.
I mean, hustle
because they're not on TV.
Yeah,
they're not on TV, and that's why college baseball, you won't see it a lot. They're not on TV. College football's on TV every weekend. Basketball's on TV all the damn time. Too much. They're gonna make money off the sports that are on TV, that they can have their brand or the endorsement seen. They want it to be seen. That's why SEC might have some guys with the baseball. They're the SEC network. Texas has their own network.
The other thing I heard on ESPN, I thought it was a great point this morning. I don't know who said it, but you're going to have teams in certain states with no income tax, like Texas. How much is that going to help their recruiting versus a team in California, where the kids are the income tax is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to the University of Texas over, I don't know,
even Stanford,
USC, San Diego.
Yeah. Where can I build my brand bigger and make more money?
Where can I make the most money?
Exactly.
Where are they going to take less?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see it all play out, all unfold. I hope the focus on, like you said, their craft is the priority. And I think, again, we're going to see. You don't get to that level and full ride scholarships to whether it's SEC, any Power 5, and not have a lot of talent. So it's just going to be on them to manage what they're trying to accomplish as far as the making money part of it goes. Mm-hmm. But I think I can see it driving a wedge, maybe even between teammates, being a problem within the program itself. Like, if you have an endorsement and you have to live up to those endorsement deals, like, you're
going to be selfish.
Well, and you're going to be required to do certain things that take you away from your team, take you away from school.
Yeah, like the Twins are in New York. I mean, I know basketball's not going on right now.
Right, and maybe that's how they do it. They do it out of season. Yeah, but you never know. I mean, it's my money.
I'm putting money into you. You got to do what I do.
That's
where the NCAA is going to have contract issues and what they.
But the NCAA is honestly doesn't hate this because they don't have to worry about fronting the bill anymore.
Yeah,
they don't have to worry about regulating these schools and that kind of stuff. Now it's on them. If they want to make it, go make it. Yeah. The NCAA is still going to make their money.
Mm-hmm.
They're still going to make their money.
Yep.
So who cares? Yeah. Right? They're probably loving that Mississippi State won again. Because it buys more time for them to justify why they kicked out NC State.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about MLB being a shit show. NCAA, big time.
Right in line.
I mean, we didn't even get to everything today, and we probably just scratched the surface on some of these topics. This is all brand new. This all just came out. I mean, if you have opinions on it, we want to hear about it. If you think we're wrong, tell us. If you think you're right and love it, tell us. If we missed something, tell us. If there's something within any of the stories we talked about today, tell us. We don't have all the details for everything, but we just felt like there's so much going on in the world of sports that we had to get it out there. And we definitely want to hear your feedback on it. I mean, you've got a lot of stuff going on in baseball. The All-Star Game's coming up. I think tonight, Thursday, is the All-Star Selection Show, so that'll be out this evening or tomorrow. The trade deadline's coming up. There's more stories about the substance in the baseballs. I've read a report today from Hannah Kaiser at Yahoo talking about the MLB needs to start testing more with a pre-tacked baseball like the KBO, and another league in Japan, I believe, has a pre-tacked baseball that some pitchers really liked. So we'll see. I guess they're already testing stuff. They've tested it in the past in the Arizona Fall League, but who knows? You've seen the spin rates drop drastically, and you're seeing some pitchers starting to get a little lit up more. So I don't know how you feel about that. I saw Donaldson talking shit to Giolito after hitting a ball, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. But again, most of the baseball talk is still about the substance stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I don't care.
It's just not. We're not going to.
Baseball still sucks.
Can't be a daily thing. I mean, even though spin rates are down, I mean, the strikeouts are not, the averages are not climbing up. Like, we'll have to wait and see more of a drastic change. But again, we appreciate everybody listening to the podcast. Go subscribe on YouTube. Again, go get it on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. Go listen to episode 115. Go watch the Hit.OR.DIE Home Run Derby. And please, again, go subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody's support. And again, we want the feedback. We want to hear anything we may have missed or your opinions about what we had to say today.
And happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. And happy 4th of July. Have a good, fun, safe weekend. Enjoy the holiday with your family and friends. And we'll be back at it next week with another episode of the Hit.OR.DIE podcast.
Hit.OR.DIE.